Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Greetings.
I'm looking at some mail here, some kind of credit card that sent me in the mail. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Bills? They're sending some bills?
No, they're trying to get me in more debt by sending me some kind of card and telling me I pre-qualify for $250,000.
What?
$300,000 in working capital.
Jeez, and ages, boy.
All I have to do is fill out the application. I say, wait a minute. If I already qualify, just send me the check. Why I gotta go fill out information? That really don't make no sense. Good evening, friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to another edition of Caribbean Feedback. My name is Curtis Henry, and I'm sitting in this evening with our lovely panelists.
That's
our good class members who are generally here on time. Good night, Sherry and Sylvester. How are you doing this evening?
Good evening.
First and foremost, let's get things rolling with our esteemed lady on the panel, Miss BantuKreations, Karin Forrester. Talk to us.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Karin Forrester. I represent BantuKreations. BantuKreations offers beautifully made, African-inspired, lightweight, handcrafted, one-of-a-kind earrings in wonderful shapes, shades, sizes, and colors. Please don't be scared of the large sizes. They're extremely lightweight earrings. BantuKreations can be found on IG and on Facebook as BantuKreations. That's BantuKreations with a K. Back to you, Mr. Henry.
Thank you so much. Good night, Lucy O'Brien. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Anthony Brown. Greetings, family from Philadelphia. How are you doing this evening, sir? Mr. Mark Chase from Chase Audit Services. Introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are and what it is you do.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Chase, Chase Audit Services. We provide a number of audit services for both governmental and regular businesses. I'd like to give a shout out to all my family, in particular my cousin Choli, who is probably listening to us tonight on YouTube. Her and her butternut squash, which I had never heard of in my life.
What?
Where she made it. I never heard of nothing in my life like that. But I want to give a shout out to her and the rest of the family in Canada, the UK, and the United States, as well as Panama. Don't let me forget Panama.
Yeah, no family in Guyana. You see how people like to show off. He want to let everybody know he have family all over the world. It's okay.
You know what, and I'm going to see you later. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mark Chase. Good evening, Samuel Archer from Muzilog. Could you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are, what it is you do?
That's right. My name is Samuel Archer. I hail from Muzilog.com. It's the magazine where music, entertainment, and culture lives. And I am the recent author of the book, Hybrid Executive, Understand the Music Business, Get Your Game Up, and all that good stuff. Now available at iBooks, Nook, Amazon, and places like that. And I had a tooth pulled out last week. You know, I lost a little bit of wisdom, so I hope it doesn't affect me in the show tonight. But I had a quick question for you.
We in trouble, boy. We in trouble.
Yeah. I see some stuff behind your head. I wanted to find out what was those weird-looking things behind your head over there.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Where's them things you have going on back there?
Well, I added a couple of trophies to my collection
They don't look cultural at all. They don't look cultural.
No, they're not cultural, but those are
Yeah.
some of the awards that have been given. So I thought that it's appropriate to showcase them. I didn't quite get the Emmy or the Grammy yet, but what I have up there, those are a couple of awards I got from Toastmasters. How many of you are familiar with Toastmasters?
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. You don't talk too much. That's why
I talk too much. Well, obviously, talking too much pays off. This one is Area 23 International Speech Contest, first place winner. This is for the Area 23 in Florida for Toastmasters. I got first place winner in area competition, and coming up at the end of the month, I am stepping up into the division contest. And after I win that, then I'll be going on to the semifinals. And then I'll be doing the finals in some other state. And after I win the finals, then I can now be considered a professional speaker.
That's right.
And I can join the ranks amongst my mentors like Zig Ziglar and Les Brown. So Les Brown is one of my mentors. I love that brother with a passion. I call him Uncle Les.
All right.
I call him Uncle Les. Yes.
Before you take things away, let me go back to this other part of the show. We love to do, because we like to make sure that we understand and know what episode this is tonight.
Where we are in our growth and development.
In our growth. All right, you guys ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full.
10. 20. 30.
30. 4. 30 and 4.
34.
Episode 34.
That's right.
Yes. In order to get the big victories, you have to celebrate the little ones, celebrate the small victories, and then the bigger ones will come. Mr. Anthony, but I ain't gonna read that. I ain't gonna read that.
It's confirmed.
What did he say? What did he say?
It's confirmed.
What did he say?
He said it's confirmed. I don't know. I guess he wanted to confirm who speak. So which means you like to real talk plenty. LOL.
That fella sound like a Trini boy. You like to really talk plenty. That Trini talk. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Miss Barnes. Good evening, Dr. Judith.
Good evening.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Judith, welcome.
I'm so happy you can join us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be able to join you too.
I am pretty sure that sentiment is shared amongst the other panelists.
Absolutely.
You're extra special, but you know.
She had the nerve to say, of course, as if it's given. All right. All right, but just go ahead and introduce yourself now. Since you walk inside late, just go ahead. Go ahead.
All I can say is I'm the late one.
Good enough.
You late comer. Introduce yourself. Talk. Because I don't want to introduce you. I might start to talk about how long I know you and how much headaches I get knowing you and how frustrating.
Lord help us. My name is Judith Barnes. I'm a writer. I'm a paraprofessional. I work with special needs children. I'm a mental health therapist. I too many eyes, but I try to give my best in whatever I do. I'm a painter. I just I do a lot of things, and I do them well, better than well actually.
That's right.
And most importantly, the Lord loves me, and I love Him, and I love my son, and he loves me. If nobody else loves me, that's And one of my brothers got reelected to the commission seat in Miramar, Florida tonight for 17
Mr. Winston
years.
Barnes. Mr. Winston Barnes. Congratulations to him once again.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
That's enough of me.
So whether you all realize it or not, there is talent in the Barnes family.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Lots of talent. Lots of talent. Lots of talent.
Dr.
I didn't
Judith,
say
you
lot.
want me to fling something for you? Me nah
I
miss.
said
Right? Fling
there
it for
is
me.
talent. I didn't say more talent. I said there is
That's
talent in
okay.
the Barnes family.
Listen, let me tell you something. You see, when you know the truth, you ain't got to worry about all this other stuff.
True that.
I'm cool.
So, Mr. Archer, before you were so rudely interrupted, go ahead, please, and introduce yourself, sir.
Well, I introduced myself already, but we're gonna
We
bring
ain't
it
hear
up.
nothing about your book. We ain't hear nothing about
Yeah, we
your
spoke
music
about-
production. What happened?
Oh, you want to know about the book? Yeah, we spoke about the book.
You did where I was.
Asleep.
You know you need to take your Irish
right
boy,
there, brethren.
because with your mind gone.
You was
This
right.
thing is book come up.
I know you do the count. I know you do the count. I know you do that, but I didn't see the book come up on the screen and talk about your music production and the fact that you work with B2K and all these other groups and all this stuff, that all these accolades you have. You didn't talk. You talk about that,
No, I didn't talk about B2K and all of that, but I spoke about the book.
right?
But you know, if people could clearly see that I'm in a recording studio right now, my keyboard is over here, computers, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. So you know, hits are recorded in this room. You know,
Wow.
strong,
Hits.
very, very strong hits. You know, I have hammers, you know, just rest your head down. I'll give you a hard hit. Yeah.
Hit
Yeah.
after hit after hit.
Yes, man. Lots of hits up in this piece.
Well,
So
family, as stated before, my name is Curtis Henry, and I'm here this evening. Among many other things I do, I don't like to get into my accolades. The show is supposed to be an hour long, and if I begin to speak about myself, it will use up most of that time. So I have to humble myself and just talk about my YouTube platform, which is Caribbean Chatt. Caribbean Chatt provides a platform where we celebrate the history and culture of Caribbean people in entertainment, the arts, politics, sports, education, and economics. We explore the many profound contributions they have made to society. Look us up on YouTube at Caribbean Chatt. That's chat with 2 T's, CHATT. Or you can like us on Facebook at Caribbean Chatt. Follow us on Instagram at Caribbean Chatt. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go on there, smash that subscribe button, leave us a comment.
That's
and
right.
while you're there, make sure you also subscribe to Caribbean Feedback. We need your support. We need your input. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know what topics you have on your mind that you think we need to discuss. Panelists, viewers, let me ask you a little something. How many of you have ever gone fishing? Have you ever caught anything?
Mhm.
I heard stories from friends who spend the entire day on a boat or on a pier fishing, and yet still they come home empty-handed. What's the point? They boast about catching fish, but seems contented coming home empty-handed, empty bucket. They call this action catch and release. Catching something and throwing it back in the water. The only time I ever went fishing, I caught a fish. First time, and the only time I went fishing, I caught a fish this big. No, let me move this hand. Look at this one.
Oh, this big. Okay.
This big.
Where was it? It was in the ravine? You was fishing in the ravine?
No, boss. That was in the sea.
In the sea?
In the sea, off the pier, and I catch a fish that big.
Wow.
I couldn't eat that. That's smaller than a sardine. So you know what I had to do? Give it time to grow up. Maybe another fisherman, a younger fisherman, might come up and catch that. So I throw it back.
You throw it back. All right.
Yeah. And from that lesson, I realized that we too sometimes play the same game with one another. We pursue, we catch, and then we release. Someone made a statement that Halle Berry can't seem to keep her husband. To which she responded, who said I wanted to keep them anyway? Most of us are familiar with the cliche, if you love someone, set them free. And if they come back, they were yours to begin with. And if they don't, drive by the job 6 times a day and stop. That's not how it goes?
No.
Something like that.
That's how you look at it.
Some people make claims that he or she is the only person for me, and they're the only one who could love me, and or who I could love. I have serious issues with that. I have issues with this statement. They also make till death do us part. Don't come to me with that.
Oh, okay.
I saw a clip from a wedding on Facebook. The preacher said, he's speaking to the wife at this time, the how you call it? The bride. And he said, do you promise to love, cherish, honor, and obey? And the bride said, wait. Obey who? Obey what? He knew right then and there that even though she caught him, it was time to release. Or she realized what it is she was going into. It was time for her to release. Panelists, viewers, let me ask all this something. Have any one of you ever held on to somebody for way too long that it started to do you more harm than if you had let them go? Oh boy, cat got the tongue.
Yeah.
May I say that on my first and only fishing trip, I caught like this. And I reeled it in only to find out it was a piece of wood.
So let me ask you a question. So when you go in the ravine, them kind of fish just count too?
Don't matter.
You see, that is part of the issue. The ravine might be the nightclub.
Mm-hmm. Or the ravine is the nightclub?
The ravine could be equated with the nightclub.
Could be church.
The church might be equated with the bride that I talk about. You're the ones who say, I only love the Lord and I only listen to Jesus. They don't want to obey their husband. So they are probably
they're not real. They're not real.
To obey. You understand?
I hear
this. That's fine.
She said, bam. She catch piece of wood.
No, but I'm sure that I was involved with someone longer than I should have been. And
was that the big piece of wood you catch?
Oh, you're just a rude little wretch. No. You're just so rude. You're so rude and out of place. Out of
Sam,
order.
Come on back, Sam.
Let him go before him choke himself. Anyway,
the kitchen wood now.
Anyway, as I said, I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted by laughter and folly. It was I'm sure there was at least one, but then I've learned to let go. As TD Jake says, I've gotten very good at saying goodbye. And then after a while, I don't even say hello, much as goodbye. Don't matter no more. So I have done that. And it was better off.
This is what happens, right? I equate that to the story in the Bible where they talk about the 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish. And basically what happened is that, the story said that they all had some oil. And the oil could be joy or love or food or whatever you want it to be. But I like to go with joy, call the oil joy. And so you had 5 that had joy, and you had 5 that didn't walk with the joy. And what happens is that they can't just give you joy. You have to have your own joy. So if you're with somebody and they're not happy and you are bringing them happiness, after a while they're going to start to reject that love you're giving them or that joy you're giving them. So I think when you get to the point where it's you know, people need to be moving on, and you know, this it's not really, you know, it ain't really what you want to call this? It ain't really matching up right.
It's not gelling anymore.
Not gelling up right and thing. You know, you had to, you know, either you throw it back in the sea or they throw you back in the sea. Somebody get thrown.
Somebody getting released.
You get released. That's right. That's right.
Can I chime in on that?
Yes.
Can I chime in on that little situation there?
Yeah, man.
They're all very, very pleasant, and I love it. I really love it. But I had a parasite attach himself to me for way too long. I wish I could have gone back to the day before we met and escaped my little regret with that one. Held on tight. Took me a while to get out of that. My nickname for him is AH. I don't need to spell it out because some people seem to get offended when I spell things out on this show. But I had to get rid of that as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. Very, you know,
so
awful.
When you say parasite, was he a sucking parasite?
He was a succubus. Yes, he was.
Was it an enjoyable suck at least?
No, sir. If it was enjoyable, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
What is wrong with you? Where's your mind at tonight?
No, I'm not afraid to answer any question posed to me, you know. So you can fling it any way you want. That is one that I pulled in, and I had to just throw the line back, cut the line as quickly as possible, and let that sinker and all my weights and everything go. That was, you know, I had to get rid of that, man. That was an awful situation.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to get rid of somebody, you know. Everybody puts on their best airs when you first meet them, you know. And you get, you know, the person spray themselves with perfume and it's nice and you smell it. The perfume nice, you know. And then the second time the perfume fade a little bit. You don't know what I'm smelling underneath the perfume, but your perfume. And then the third time you see
excrement.
Man, you need to watch your crutches, man.
Excrement.
What is wrong with you people tonight?
Perfume and excrement.
Perfume and excrement. All right. Have mercy.
I think what happens to people sometimes is as they get more mature, they can recognize immediately that's not going to work. So it's not even a matter of throwing it back. It's a matter of saying, I met an 86-year-old man this past weekend. Very pleasant man. And actually was giving him a ride home. He was waiting for Uber at supermarket. And when I took him home, he said to me, so, where's your husband? You have a husband? I said, no, he dead. I realized how fast I said that. And then as we talk, he says, you want a friend? I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. And I realized how fast I answered that. But this is weird. This is what I'm talking about. You grab and whatever you do, you get rid of. The reality is that as I get more mature, I can know right away that he's 19 years older than me. Yeah, you can do the math. What's your name again, Mark? He's 19 years older than me.
I just want
he's 19 years older than me. You know? So what?
You need a friend?
We have a friend already. Go ahead. So I said to him, I said, so right away I started calculating. I said, 19 years old. I said, and then some other little things that I could see. And I said, that's why I asked him so fast. I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I said, we can talk. I said, but no, thank you.
Because it's way too vibrant for someone who's going to be, you know, maybe ailing or slower and stuff like that.
Right,
So you
right.
know what you want and what you
That
need.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that I know personally that I need somebody younger than me. I don't need to do all of that. I don't need to do all of that.
Wait, hold up. I'm just trying to understand the science here. Just understand.
Stop it.
So you caught a fish.
I wasn't trying to catch a fish. I was just trying to help this guy.
Hold on. Okay, you was passing by the sea and a fish fall in your thing. It flying fish now. It was a flying fish.
All in your thing. That don't sound right. Rephrase that. Rephrase that. You never fall in our thing. Rephrase the question.
The flying fish asks you first. The flying fish asks you the status first.
Yeah.
And then the flying fish say, do you want a friend?
Yeah.
So how many people catch fish and the fish asking you if you want a friend? Lord have mercy.
I got it like that.
I don't want that blessing at all, man. You throw that blessing back in the thing.
Back to the comment that you can see them from literally across the street, sometimes halfway down the street. You're like, let me turn around. But
Yo, hold on.
You should see what they just wrote.
Let me read this one here. Yvonne Emmanuel say that God sent you the wood in preparation to catch and to cook the fish. You throw the wood and you chew the fish.
Okay. You're right, Yvonne.
Dr. Judith.
Dr. Judith.
The person who asks you if you want a friend might not be asking for themselves, you know.
No representatives accepted or imposters.
That's
Judith,
possible.
the situation where the parasite can get in is usually a time when you're vulnerable for some reason or another.
Yes,
You're healing from something, you're in pain over something.
Oh yeah.
And a parasite gets in that way. It's not necessarily that most people, don't see it coming.
I agree.
But when you're sort of a bit impaired, that them get in.
So you say you attracted that into your life, then is what you're saying? You attracted that into your life.
Depending on how you are living and how you're feeling, you can attract that kind of problem. And I try to be and I'm serious about this. I stay away from certain situations when I know I'm vulnerable like that. Because you can end up making a terrible mistake.
Absolutely.
Wait, you were vulnerable also?
Who are you speaking to?
I don't know who. Dr. Judith, were you vulnerable in this moment?
I am vulnerable to different degrees at different times in different atmospheres. Right now, I'm vulnerable to your madness. I will box you.
But Judith, do
You see. She
I love that you all have this habit of swimming against the stream.
She expects it from me. You see?
So what now?
Sam is making you catch your legs this week. Most of the time, it would be me. I'm just sitting back here quiet.
No, I asked a question.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I can't handle any one of you. So go through. Go through.
But Dr. Judith,
yes, sir.
In your case, what happened? A lot of times we tend to swim against the stream. We don't go with the flow. Sam said something very important. The man asked you if you want a friend. You automatically assume he was talking about himself. Now, if the man 86 years old, it's very likely he have a son around your age.
No.
Right?
No.
And you ain't think that he trying to pick up somebody or just interest,
No.
Say, well, I have a son, and maybe his wife died X amount of years ago and he's living by himself. He's well off and he's this and he's that. But no, cute. You just automatically dismiss the man because somehow you just think he want to talk to you.
But look at my bond big. So look at my bond big. So go
Stop it.
I know when somebody is speaking to me.
Look for some nice sponge baths and somebody to drive him around.
I asked him earlier, I said, where's your wife? And he said, and he looked very sad. He said she gone 5 years in Jamaica. And he said she gone 5 years. So I had some information before he asked me about if I want to be friends with him. So but that's okay. If you'd like to put it on that level, why not?
See how she become part of the story?
No, go so.
You see how she
Why-
leave out part of the story? She was well engaged in the conversation with the man, but she tried to make it believe like the man jumped in she car and just started to ask you out. It didn't go so. First of all, you had to invite him into the car, right? So you're just as guilty.
Let me tell you something. There's no guilt here. Listen to me. Listen to me. And listen to me quickly because I'm going to talk fast.
How do I listen quickly? I got to listen to the way you talking. Go ahead.
Listen. The man is a little man, so. I could tell him had on a Jamaican hat. He looked like he was like somebody put him out. He looked like he was lost. So I tend to do that, men and women, and I don't like women that way. So I'm gonna go in that conversation because certainly I'll box it tonight. When I see people that look like they're lost, I tend to, can I help you? That's how the conversation started. How come you're standing here, sir? And he was standing there quite a little bit of time. And I said to him, he said he's waiting for Uber. The Uber, he said he was waiting for half an hour. Is the people at the bank called the Uber for him. And they said, put on your Jamaican cap so when the Uber come, they'll recognize this you them come to pick up. So I'm talking to him. I found out he's Jamaican. He found out I'm Jamaican. And we kept talking. I said to him, now listen to how people, 86, but he's sharp. He said, I said, you know, I really don't feel comfortable leaving, and I'm being sincere about this. I don't feel comfortable leaving people a certain age and stuff on the street by themselves. Evening is coming, and I'm concerned. So I said to him, I said, I don't really want to leave you here. I want to make sure that you get home. You know what? So I said, call the Uber and make sure that they still intend to come and get you. You know what he did? He called the Uber, and this is what he said. Yes, I want to tell you, I've been waiting half an hour. How much longer? Another half an hour? Then he said, oh, well, you know, I called to let you know I don't want to disappoint you because if you come, I won't be here. He had already decided. No, I had already decided I was going to give him a ride, but he had already decided he was going to get a ride home from me. So I said to myself, make him go on, make him at least, you know, be a big man. Let him say what I have to say. And he repeated it to the man. He said, I don't want to disappoint you. You come, I'm not here. So I said, what are we, Mr. here? So I said, Kuya. He said, my guy, bad. So then I said,
yeah,
okay.
hello? Yeah, right now I'm on this. I ain't talking to nobody. That's called improv. You get set up. You got set up and you didn't even know.
Who got
that
set
was
up?
part of the man approach.
Oh, stop about set up.
That was part of the man's approach.
Listen,
he
the
played
man
the
is
script.
not, listen, there's no setup because I knew what he was doing. Setup is when you don't know what go on. Don't talk foolishness.
Did you hear the other end of the conversation?
Listen, when he said to the man another half hour, I said to myself,
Which man? Did you
listen
hear
to me,
the other man's
man.
voice?
Listen to me, man. He dialed the number. I was there and I said he dialed the number. The call went through. What I'm saying to you is the moment he said another half hour, I said that nobody don't tell him about another half hour. He repeated it to impress me. Don't be crazy. I know what he was doing. He repeated half an hour. Because I told him I didn't want him standing out there any longer. So what he did, he used the half an hour and said, oh, another half hour. So that's what says, oh, poor thing. I made a decision to give him a ride home. It don't matter what him say. But I knew what he was doing.
He wanted to ensure that he was getting the ride home.
Of course, that's what he did.
So in this case, he was the fisherman.
He was fishing. I certainly was not. I certainly was not.
He's looking for Mr. Right. And he was looking
I wasn't looking for nobody. I was looking for nobody. I told you exactly what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was looking for him right now.
I have given women, men, anybody that I think that looks, I feel they're vulnerable and I'm concerned, I do that quite frequently. So it has nothing.
Let me ask you all something. Let me ask you all something. By a show of hands, who here has been married before? Don't be ashamed, man. Put up. Where's that, Judith? Twice? Actually, put up your hand. You put both of them.
Guys,
All right, so we all been there. We take that walk and we take the other walk. We talked about that a few weeks ago, the divorce thing, right? But how do you respond to people who continuously repeat this, that whatsoever the Lord put it together, let no man asunder? You know,
why does that offend you? Why does that offend you?
Put that together.
Are you playing devil's advocate or does it really offend you? Because
No,
why get
no.
married? Why get married?
But the question I ask is, sometimes when you see the way people fight like cat and dog, beating each other, killing each other, police, all kind of thing, you have to ask yourself, did the Lord put that together? I think that was some other force. Some other force put that together.
No, he didn't.
This is the situation.
Don't put confusion together. We put confusion together.
When you say till death do us part, it don't mean that you're dead, you know. It means that the relationship is dead. If the relationship is dead,
no, Mr. Art. You're playing with words.
The relationship, if the relationship is dead.
It's not so good. You're too rude. You must stop that.
That is the death. It doesn't mean you're the dead going down in the ground.
Yes, it does.
If that is the case, then we are not supposed to get divorced.
What?
If that is the case.
What is hand business you are doing tonight? It's better when you play politics. What's wrong with you? No such thing. No such thing.
You have to look at it the right way. You have to look at it the right way. If the relationship is dead,
it is not set go.
Dead.
It's not set go. Listen, we decide who we want, what we want, and then we tell God, yes, God, thank you. Him have nothing to do with it. We go and we choose we want, and I'm telling you what I know. We see the badness in people. We see the left eye kind of crooked, and we say, no, man, we can fix the eye. And we know exactly what we're doing. And we do it over and over again.
Wait.
Diane Roxanne said, Sam, what?
Listen,
don't make up story.
Every woman I've been with, God ain't had nothing to do with that.
No, I bet they did. I bet he didn't. Tell the truth. You see, Mark is telling the truth.
Let me explain my point.
No, you're the top foolishness again.
I am explaining my point. Now,
you see, when he put the hood on him head, God help us.
That's right. I am Elder Sam presiding in the service today. Let me explain what's going on here. Let me explain the situation. If you see a couple that love each other and they're meant to be together, you think a piece of paper could pull them apart? You think anything could pull them apart? That is when it says no man could put asunder. It doesn't mean that a man would come and physically pull them apart. The relationship
on you tonight.
Look, listen what I'm saying. The relationship is gelling. You can't pull a relationship that's gelling. You can't pull it apart. That is what it is. But if the relationship is not gelling, it's dead. And that is
you're gone.
Anthony Brown said, please, Father. Ask him to explain that one day.
You're gone from one thing to another.
You know what I mean to me, but I don't know what I mean.
No, I'm not attack you with that. Can you talk to you, do? See somebody say, what, Sam?
What?
Well, I keep it all my teeth.
Yeah, Anthony say I keep in all my teeth. This thing about what let me tell you something. Listen, and this is a serious thing. A lot of men walking around there are abused men. The problem is they're too ashamed to say it. You can't go talk to your friend and them, they're gonna laugh at you. You go to the precinct and make a complaint, them and all gonna laugh at you. They might help you, but they're gonna laugh at you. So a lot of men are walking around abused and they don't know. They know it, but they're afraid to admit it. Right? So as Anthony said, I keep in my teeth. Because if you have a woman like that who's violent and want to keep hitting on you, and the minute you do something, you fight back and she get a little laugh, everybody will go, oh God, no, don't do that. But all the times, all the black eye and all the boss said you don't get. You can't complain. Men have no place to go complain really about these things. So like Anthony say, in any situation like that, partner, I keep in my teeth. And you know what he's saying he will do? He will release. He will release it. If he can't release it,
but you
he will release himself.
Anybody should release if you're being abused, mentally, physically. You should really listen. I'm not good at being abused, okay? So it don't take much of me. You start being, especially mental abuse.
Nobody can abuse you, Dr. Judith. You cannot.
How you know, Judith?
I cannot see anybody abusing Dr. Judith.
Hold on, Judith. You said you're not good at
listen to me. Because when people language change, people start talk to you like they think they can handle you. The next thing is abuse. So I have an ability. I thank God Almighty. When the madness starts, I did somebody that not long ago. I said, delete. I'm not playing. Because certain things you're saying to me, it means you're going to think you can handle me. Nah. And I'm grateful that I can do it. Because when I was very young, let me say that. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you guys. Perhaps Karin has heard it. One of the mistakes that people make, men and women, is to get sexually involved. And get sexually involved quickly. Because when you do, it ties you to the other person. Now, I'm not asking anybody that. I know it. The decision to leave.
We talked about that the other night.
The decision to leave, everything changes. Because now you're thinking, and especially women have a habit that if they did it, then they're going to talk themselves into reasons to stay. Men often are very different. Y'all, I'm sorry, not y'all. Let me stop. Some of you don't care anyway. Some of them don't care anyway. They like you. John behavior.
Some people call it
people tend to, especially women, tend to stay longer because they have made the commitment, and they're not necessarily aware. But once you have committed your body, part of it is your spirit is involved. You get caught up in that, and it's harder to say, because I, as a woman, and I can't speak for other women, that is a very important act to me. It is very special. So to release now, I have to say, oh God, I know I love men. I know I love to be in a relationship. So if I release him, I'm going to start with somebody else. And I don't want to do that, so I stay longer. And that's real. That's very real. So the truth of the matter is that women, people in general, don't understand there's a spiritual connection when you have sexual intercourse. Whether I just want a thing and I feel like it, I should look good, whatever it is, there's something else involved, and it makes that break harder to make. Unlike people like Mark, who doesn't have any kind of problems with that.
Wait, hold up. So what are we talking about?
At all.
Are we still fishing here, or what are we doing?
Of course, you're fishing. In order to share sexually, you fished and caught.
No, I think we beyond the fishing part. I think that is when you get caught on the hook already. When you already get caught. And I think that is what she's talking about. Because generally, we the one that do the fishing. Generally. We the ones that fish.
You only think
what do you mean that's not what?
You only think that. As you said, women usually make the decision as to whether they're going to be involved with you or not. They have seen you like from 40 miles away.
If I do not approach you and I walk past you, no matter what decision you're making in your mind, you're not going to realize it unless I approach you and say, well, hey.
No.
But in this day and time, we're talking about women who do the approach.
Not true.
More times than not. Women will approach whomever they're interested in. Not all women.
Women today are bolder. They're not
very much so.
Right, it's much bolder. But normally the guys who's the guys who has to make the moves, and the guys are the tempters or the predators or whatever you want to call the guy, right? So but in terms of what Dr. Judith was saying in terms, okay, so she's saying that if the two people, once they have intercourse, it's harder to break off, right? That's the point?
You have to have her support her point.
Okay, she has to come back.
Can we switch up a little bit on some other topics as far as catch and release, like the people who the men who approach and they're very much they brag. That's one of the most unattractive things for me. A man approaching and bragging about what he has, what he owns, how much money he has, the job he has. That's a quick catch and release for me. Big turnout. Huge.
Okay, since we take a break, hold on. Let me acknowledge something here. Yvonne Emmanuel said you have a good soul. Please clarify who you're actually talking to when she say you have a good soul. I know it's me, but I just don't want to claim it. You know, so you might somehow be talking about, you know, maybe Karin or Sam or Mark.
I agree with Cheryl. So the woman decide if to take the bait, because the woman makes final choice if to go forward, right?
Yes.
Right. Still on that?
Basically, what Karin was saying.
We're still on that.
I don't understand where you're coming from, brother. Because as many times the woman throw the bait out.
Thank you very much.
Could be going down the street, minding your own business. She look at you and say, "Oh, look at the head, boy. Got plenty brain in there." Let me check
pure carnality.
You know what's so funny about that?
They come in to stay with you, but I'm telling you, man, women just as bold as man, just as bold.
These days,
with design. I don't care what day you're in. Could be 1920. I don't care what day you're in. You know he gonna pay me rent. He gonna pay me light bill. He gonna pay me water bill. He gonna pay me next bill. He gonna pay for the kids. Man, if you haven't seen that, you have been nowhere.
No, I'm not saying I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it.
I've been hooked by the lip by that, and I'm self-released. I'm going self-release. Hold on. This hook got to come out, man. There's too many bills attached to that hook. I'm self-released.
Too many.
We play all this nice, and we had sex and you know I want to be with you, but you know my FP&L bill due next week Thursday. What kind of nonsense this? You think I'm stupid?
You attract that.
No.
Why are you gonna say? Hold on. No. Let me tell you something. I remember a particular situation. Met this girl, and the first date we supposed to go out on. She said, "I need an outfit to go out." I said, "What you saying? You have no clothes?" She said, "Yeah, but everything I have in there old." I said, "But I haven't seen you in them. Don't worry, put on anything."
To you.
Yeah, you put on anything you want. I haven't seen you in any of the other clothes. I only saw you what you had on last week when I met you. And then today when I'm seeing you again. Now, if we're going out weekend, you could put on anything in your closet because I have not seen you in it. So don't tell me nothing but you need a new dress. I automatically see what type of individual this is. But you know what? Like a lamb to the slaughter, I still have to go because you know what? We are conquerors. So I still have to go to get.
You still had to go.
Yeah, I still had to go to get what it is I was after.
Well, that's it. Nobody forced you to go.
I caught and then I released because I realized where her head was.
You're too worthless.
How am I worthless?
Because so you're making a deal.
How would I know if she's worthy to be girlfriend or wife material? I had to find out.
Man, I'm done. Listen, I'm done with y'all tonight. Y'all talking about.
I think I watch too many movies because anytime I see a sister willing to give up anything too quick, something wrong with that. Something wrong with that.
Why? Why?
No, not necessarily sex, but just pushing You know, just
Let
kind
me
of
answer that. Let me answer that.
advertising. Something 9 times out of 10, something wrong with that. Tell me, Aaron.
Let me tell. Hey, Mark, I told my 2 older sons, I said, let me tell you something. I want to compare this story. Let's say a deer, right? It is not the natural characteristic of a deer to come and lick your hand. If you're in the bush hunting and a deer walk up to you and lick your hand, would you take that home to eat for your family? No, that is not the normal characteristics of a deer. Let that go. If you're walking by and you see a deer lay down dead on the ground, would you carry that home for your family to eat? No, you have no idea how it died. It could be sick or how long it's laying on the ground dead. You have no idea. But you see the deer that from the minute you step on the little piece of twig, he look up and he gone. And you chase him down through the bush and you aim and you miss. And then you follow him again and you have to climb a tree and set up a trap and you catch him. You see when you catch that deer, you're going home with it on your back and you're proud. You went out hunting and this is what I found. This is going to be dinner. And that is how I equate women to that deer. You come and you start licking my hand quick. As soon as, no. Something wrong.
Let's stay with the bipeds. Can we stay with the bipeds?
Yeah.
With the who?
Can we stay with the bipeds, please?
Okay.
Yes. How about the bipeds who claim that they want monogamy, say to you that they want a monogamous relationship and then go and cheat? Those are the quick catch and release.
Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you women do this, especially you're shopping to go to a party, you all don't go out and buy one outfit. You buy an outfit, you go to a next store, and you buy a next one, and then you make a choice between the 2 that you have, which one you're wearing the night. It's the same thing we do. It's the same thing we do. We sometimes we out there hunting, and we're looking for good woman, something that you want to consider a girlfriend or you want to consider a wife, and then you go out there and you meet one girl and you meet a next girl, and in the process of that, one all of a sudden, because they figure, well, me alone. And you go out on the next date and you sleep with, they say, well, oh no, he cheated. He's shopping. I'm not talking after a long committed marriage where you're going and you're married and you make your vows and all of these things, but early in the dating process, a lot of people get feelings hurt because, oh, he or she cheated, and you're all just getting to know each other. Sometimes that's part of the
let me back up that statement. I said when that person tells you that they want a monogamous relationship, I'm not saying that the person made assumptions that the relationship was where it wasn't. The person, they sit down with someone and you have a conversation about taking that relationship further and you want exclusivity, and then that person turns around, one party turns around and cheats. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people who are disillusioned about where the relationship has reached if it hasn't gotten to that point already. Let me make that clear.
So some men, and I'm not saying it's me now, I had to put a little disclaimer out here because
it's a friend.
But no, I'm talking about some men. We had to generalize this thing in the right way. That's my disclaimer. Some men, when they say they want you exclusively, they want you exclusively to him. That's what you're talking about. So keep the party going.
Okay. Let me touch on another topic of the voluntary liars, the liars who give you information you did not ask for, which we've touched on in a previous show. Those got to go. They've got to go. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. They've got to go. Volunteer lies, you got to go.
Oh, you mean the ones who they're trying to create a situation? So
I don't know what they're trying to create. I know what
they
they've
just
just
fabricate
done.
a lie
They've
without
ended the
even
relationship.
asking for it. Unprompted, unwarranted lie.
They have just ended the relationship. I don't know what they were trying to create. They just dismantled the relationship.
I'm with you on that. Let me welcome Mr. Derek D'Souza to the show this evening.
Me already welcome Derek. Go on.
Yeah, but hold on. This is the gentleman we know as 100.
That's right.
100.
100, Mr. Derek D'Souza. Welcome to the evening. Welcome
Hi,
to the
Derek.
panel this evening, sir. The only thing though, I'm 100. I ain't know what you're talking about. What you say, Sardina?
Me no know.
Yeah,
I
that's
That's
our
a
last.
Tobago thing, Sam?
No, it's a last name to someone that we know. So I don't know if he was so he's saying one love there. He's saying
Say one love. Yes, welcome, 100. Welcome. Mr. Anthony Brown, he said that they assume because you are spending much time with them that you're in a relationship.
Oh,
I'm not talking. No,
Hold on.
Anthony, I'm not talking about assumptions. I try to clarify that. I'm talking about when two people sit down after they've been seeing each other for quite some time and make a decision to be exclusive to each other. And then one of those two people cheats. I'm not talking about one person making an assumption that the relationship is somewhere it isn't. That is a completely different thing. That's a delusional thing. I'm talking about when two people are intelligent enough to say, you know what? Let's do this. I'm not seeing anybody else. You've committed to me. I'm committed to you. That's what I'm talking about. I'd rather someone just say, you know what? I just want to date for a while rather than commit and then cheat. That's what I have a problem with. If you want to go and you want to see 20 people and the other person is good with that, hey, to each his own in my book.
So, but wouldn't you establish that before even?
But you just said that.
I just said we sat down. You sit down with the person and talk about it. This is the third time I'm saying it.
Okay.
And both people came to an agreement.
Already.
Yeah, but then someone steps out without any discussion and breaks that agreement. That's what I don't respect. I have no problem with each person dating 10 people. Just dating. I'm not suggesting they're all having, sexual contact. But when you make a decision as a couple and someone breaks that and didn't,
Okay.
You could come to the person and say, listen, I don't care to be in this situation anymore.
But still,
go ahead. And let me just say this. I misunderstood because I am thinking when you say catch and release, it's of a shorter time period.
Catch and release can be any time period.
It can be any time.
Sometimes it's 30 minutes in. You're like, you know what? Have a good night. Sometimes it's 3 years in. You know what? You're not doing right. Have a good life. Catch and release is catch and release. It's not necessarily sometimes you hold on to that fish, put him in the freezer, or keep him in the tub or whatever for a while. And then you say, you know what? No, you got to go back to the sea.
Put him in the freezer.
But Judith, you were about just now to respond to Mr. Brown's statement that some people assume because you're spending much time with them that you're in a relationship.
What I don't understand with men especially, don't you value your time? Why are you giving all this time to somebody that you have no intention of spending, let's say, for lack of a better term right now, you don't intend to have a permanent relationship with them? Why are you giving them time? For instance, what he's saying is true because men do it all the time. So you see her 4 times a week. A woman, these words I'm very careful of. Some women assume that if you spend time with me, it means you care. It means you want more. It means that it's not just about, having a fling. So if a man knows that he's not really intending to have a committed relationship, whether he's committed, you see, part of the problem is this. We do not speak to each other honestly. We don't tell each other what we really come to get. I would rather respect a man. I knew a pastor in New York who said he made a remark that he wanted to talk to me. Talked to him on the phone one day. He had a friend of his tell me how much he liked me. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I have to switch.
Keep it real, doctor. Keep it real.
Listen. He said to somebody that so the guy told me, the pastor likes you. He was the pastor was single. Listen, I can't be anything but what I am. It is what it is, okay?
Keep it real, darling.
So he says so he speaks to me, and I said to him, because I don't like to waste my time. and I'm not going to be coy with you. I'm going to. So I said to him, I said, what is it that you want from me? Just like that. And he said, I want to have sex with you. Now, this is a pastor. He's single. And I said to him, I said, well, no, I want more than that. That was the end of it. That was in a catch. That was a release long before. There ain't no catch there. But so what I'm saying is that I know that I wanted something else. And I could have played a game. I said, well, let me give him what he wants, and then I can turn it. No, I ain't trying to turn your mind around. I ain't trying to do nothing with you. You told me that's what you wanted. I am not willing to give it to you. I'm not willing to do that with you. And so I told him right then and there. He never brought it up again. He asked me not to sit in the front of the church because my legs bothered him. So I didn't sit in the front of the church anymore. I wasn't trying to encourage anything. I had made up my mind. That's not what I wanted. Now, let me say this to you guys. I don't know if any of you watch the Bachelor show, this Bachelor thing. Let me tell you something. I watch it on and off. There are times that I will look at it. I won't look at it for the whole thing, but I'm curious because I like to watch human behavior. You know what annoys me? There are 30 women, 30 women come to this place, and they decide that they're going to all vie for this man's attention. By the way, Mark, the one that's on now, he's born one day before you, and he's a worthless young man. Anyway,
you see, you make me drink. You understand?
But what makes me annoyed is that women put in 2021. We're so educated, we're so smart, we're so well trained, and we have our money, and we have our car, and we have our house. Why would you go on national TV and be vying? And this man is kissing you, he's kissing that one, he kissing 29 people before he get to you. And so then they have this section where they write a note. Whoever the producer of the show sends a note. The bachelor says to the woman, read it. And she reads it, and it says, would you like to spend time in the, like you say, in the intimate suite with me tonight? One of them going to the street with him, she put butter all over him, and him put butter over her, and all this nonsense. Then he has sex with her. The next night he has sex with another one. 3 in a row. You know, one of them said, I'm so upset to sit here and wait, knowing what he's doing right now. Why do women subject themselves to this kind of stuff?
Denise says desperation.
Madness.
I want to ask why you are watching that program, because that don't make no sense.
I told you why I watch the pro. I told you why I watch it, and I make no excuses. Part of it is just pure interest, and part of it I observe.
You said human behavior. If you want to see human behavior, call me up, FaceTime with me. You can see plenty of human behavior.
Go away. Go behave yourself. You're too rude.
Wait, hold up.
I'm not going through that.
Hold on, people.
Spread butter all over the body and spread butter all over.
But listen, to me,
what kind of butter are we talking about? Cocoa butter?
No, real butter. Listen, if you want to do that as a couple, that's fine with me. But why you doing that then the next night you put something else on? That's pure nastiness, my opinion.
But it sounded like he was ready to pass a skewer and put her on something, not true?
Listen, look at she was skewer him too.
This is what you call entertainment.
Oh, it is? You think so?
It's a TV show.
It's a TV show? It's nastiness.
It's make believe.
How long ago was this? Judith, how long ago was this?
Last night, 2 nights ago.
Okay, and for the next year or two, you are going to remember that. And trust me, you're going to speak about it again. As Sam said, it is entertainment. It makes you walk away with something to talk about, to laugh at, to this, whatever. Listen, it's entertainment.
Listen, if you feel it's entertainment, that's fine. I am speaking, and I'm not joking about this. When I speak about certain things, it is from the point of a therapist, and it's from the point of a woman who is single. And I'm saying that's what you got to do to get somebody? No. That's how I look at it. I'm not trying to be thrills. I know how to get thrills. I look at no TV show to get thrills. You understand? So what I'm saying to you is that women are saying certain things about themselves. Women are saying, I'm strong, I'm bright, I'm intelligent. Why are we still subjecting ourselves to this kind of stuff?
Well, that's assuming that the person who is fishing is looking for that woman. Okay, now some people are throwing a line out and saying, I don't want that nice fish. I want the dirty one.
I agree with you, and you know that personally.
Yes, I do.
I know that. I know that.
Let me ask you something, Judith. Let me ask you something. We're talking about a pastor here and his philandering ways and golden whey margarine and all different kind of butter and whatever.
I said butter. I didn't say margarine.
Let me ask you something.
You know, for a long time, I margarine and butter.
Margarine, there's a difference.
How would you respond in a situation where you meet an individual and they have some of these vices? You know, they like talcum powder and all of these different situations. Some people look at this.
Who says that's a vice? I never said that was a vice. I never said that was a vice.
Somebody say full leaf. Full leaf.
You no longer have a full leaf. Way back, boy. Way back.
No, this is for all of you all. How would you all respond to someone's vices? You know, you know, we all have our little taboos in terms of what we accept, what we don't accept, and people come into relationships, they meet each other, and all of a sudden somebody say to you at an early stage, well, I like this. How you all respond to vices?
Can I touch on that? When you say vices, it sounds like you're talking about fetishes. There's a difference between a vice and a fetish.
Right.
You're talking about some sexual thing. That's different than a vice.
What are you talking about?
Anthony Brown just said.
Well, yeah, I think butter might be a fetish.
It's a fetish. A fetish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
In some aspects, that could be a deal breaker.
Well, you know, it's all very.
For you, Sam?
I'm just saying in general.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can't talk about general, sir. No generality here.
No, we're speaking specifically.
I
want PSS. All right. I told you I'd tell you that. When I called you out on that, Sam. PSS.
That could be a deal breaker for me.
All right.
Why?
Because I am not hanging.
He committed.
Committed, yeah, man.
I'm not wearing no handcuff for nobody. I'm not nobody picking up any whip and hitting me with it and say back like a dog. I'm not doing it. And I'm not wearing pink. I'm not wearing pink. Behave all the damn self.
This is the show I died. I want you to know I died.
I come in and oh my God.
So yeah, but
I'm going to my death tonight.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Where do you draw the line?
He didn't have the line. He didn't draw the line.
Where do you draw the line? What is a deal breaker for you?
For who?
Nothing, Mark.
Mark, we talking about Mark right now.
Mark Nakir.
Mark have very few lines. Very few lines.
I can't think of one right now.
Can't think of one because one no exists, Mark. That's why I can't think of one.
You have no boundaries.
I can't think of one right
boundaries.
You can't think of one because one does not exist. One doesn't exist, Mark. Come the man.
Sam says he ain't hanging from no ceiling, no handcuff, and nobody ain't beating him.
I know pink. I'm not going to put on a pink.
I know pink. You have a long list,
man. Before my husband became my husband, he asked me of a particular act, and I said no. And I never did. And we became husband and wife anyway. Certain things I'm not doing. I'm just not going to do it. And that's my boundaries. I have lines. I have boundaries. I'm not just going to, oh, okay, if that's what it takes to keep you, you can go on. You
Diane,
mash me up.
Diane
Sorry.
Roxanne makes an inference to 50 Shades of Grey.
I've
For
heard
me,
that.
that was the dullest movie ever. So I don't know
Uh-oh.
if there's anything.
The book did very well. I think I don't know if the book.
No.
I didn't read the book. I can only judge by the movie. Being fair, I can only judge the movie.
What she trying to say for Sam? It's binary, black or white. Ain't no shades of gray in between. That is basically what she's saying. No 50 Shades of Grey for Sam.
Oh,
binary,
for Sam.
black
Okay.
or white.
Okay, for
that is
Sam.
basically what she's saying.
Is that true, Sam?
I remember, recently, Sam, I saw a post from we brethren there, Major Hype. And this is one of my taboos, one of the things that ain't happening at all. The situation was he there with the girl, and she undressed, She said, well, put on that now. He said, what? She said, put it on. I want to see how you're looking at it. Part of her undergarment when she take it off. And he put it on. Just for fun, right? And when he put it on, there was the phone. And she take a picture. Then she take the picture and show all the friends and everybody. So when my boy go now with the Rasta man, the band say, yo, you can't burn no split with me.
But maybe Sam has things that he would do. He would do, but those they mentioned he wouldn't do.
The minute I release, let me tell you something. Do not ever form your lips to ask me to put on no woman clothes. That cross-dressing business, I ain't doing it. I ain't having it. That is right. Immediately you will be released. Catch? Released. That is I remember Bruce Lee movie where he said, he said, there's a point I won't go beyond. Joelle said nobody could pull out no sex tape of me. She's not having it. No cameras turning on. Nothing like that. She's not having it. And that's where she draws the line. So that's her boiling point where she cut it off. That's where she released it. Cut the string, boop, back in the water. Right away.
So it's Cheryl. Is she talking VHS? Betamax?
Oh, go away.
Talking like no sex tape, you pulling out a tape. So, but I'm just saying, if she has a friend that they've shared something and they just want a little video, a little video vibe. A little something for the person. You know what I mean? So she's saying they can pull out a little happy time.
No,
what she's saying is that nobody could pull one of those out on her because none of them exist.
Next thing they get angry, I'm gonna turn it and put it on Facebook and also expose the one business.
So that is where she draws the line. She draws the line right there. The minute you come with that, you have to leave. That is where that is the point. Her. That is the point at which you will be released. But
that's why I released Mark and I released Mark long time.
Why you want to release me, baby? I'm nice. I'm a nice man.
You're bad. You're bad like yours.
I'm a nice man.
Miss Williams said that is what memories are for. Or how that is how memories are made, is what you're trying to say.
It's a very different statement. Very different statement indeed.
I can see it in my brain.
What she's trying to say that, Curtis, I was talking about the movie in reference to the handcuff, whips, and chains. And Karen, you're right. The movie was no good. Okay. She was speaking about the movie.
Terrible.
50 Shades. Wait there, 50. No, I ain't got time for foolishness like that.
Shades of Grey. Now I do know that it was a very hot. The book itself.
I didn't read it. To be fair, I didn't read it.
And
the movie said nothing.
Maybe
in all seriousness, a deal breaker for me now, and I do not have any patience for a woman who's argumentative, who wants to talk over you before you finish a sentence. I have very little tolerance for that. I endured it for years. always arguing with every point, everything that you have to make right now. Again, too old for that. I ain't got time to argue every day. That running up your blood pressure for no reason. I have no time for that. Women need to understand something. It is said that silence make the heart go for. That's what.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Silence
like
makes the heart grow fonder. But you guys are selective.
That's a bad man. You see? He's a bad man. I'm a nice man.
Listen,
He's a bad man.
he mad and you bad.
I wanna jump in. I wanna jump in on before we change topics on the absolutely no tolerance for the. I have this little term that I have. I could say CGS. Anybody that sort of qualifies as being cagey, guarded, or secretive, and I make a true distinction between being secretive and being private, because I'm private. But secretive just has a different tonality to it. Totally. So anyone who's cagey and guarded and secretive, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Release.
Gotta go.
Release.
You.
All right. I just want to hear how you want to use the words now. Catch and release.
Catch and release, man.
All right. So let me go to do some soul searching right now before we close this thing up. All you don't want to talk if all you don't want to. I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you all are brave enough to talk about the one that got away? Because all the way we like to talk about other, this one here, and I released and this release. I've been released. I have been released before. How many of you all are man enough?
Man enough.
Yeah, man enough. That's what I said.
Are we making assumptions that we're
How many of you are man enough?
We have both genitalia in this place.
Don't take him on.
Men or women? Man or woman enough?
Don't take him on.
How many of you are man enough to talk about the one that got away?
How many of you are
correctly
mature enough or revealing enough? But I don't know the man part.
You see what part they go hold on to?
I got released before. Yeah.
I've been released.
Yeah, I've been released. And it wasn't really about
I have most certainly
something. It wasn't like it was something negative that it did. It was really more that it wasn't a gel vibes, and it just wasn't, there was no vibes there. So
I've been released, even though there were vibes there. I've been released, so I mean, you move on.
Yeah. So sometimes you are caught, and
do.
sometimes you're released.
Somebody told me the vibes was too much. He said this will be an explosion.
The vibe was too strong.
He said, Judith, if we got together, there'd be an explosion. I said, that's all right. I'll explode on it. What are you saying, Mr. Sam?
No, I wanted to hear from Mark. He was mumbling there. I didn't quite hear what he was saying.
No, I heard from Dr. Judith that the vibes was too strong. I say that's what I've been trying to find out for the longest time, and she won't tell me. Why are you so secretive?
You're good. I'm not secretive.
Oh, Father.
I just don't want to say nothing. Period.
Oh my goodness! No, we've all been released.
Could you please repeat the question so that I can answer it correctly?
Confession is good for the soul.
Can you repeat the question so I can answer it correctly?
I am saying, how many of us are brave enough to talk about the one that got away?
Oh, you rephrased it.
Talk about the times when we talk about releasing other people, and that is where everybody discuss for the night. But anybody brave enough to talk about themselves being released?
Truth be told, truthfully, I don't believe in lying if I'm answering a direct question. I have not been released. That does not mean that will not happen in the very near future, but so far I have not been released.
So you've been releasing.
Yeah, I release very easily, but I always think things through. I don't just release for petty little things. It's usually some serious things, some serious violations from me.
Well, I have been both the releaser and the released.
So
held on to marriage that you somehow thought is gonna last forever till death do us part, like I said, and
but it was dead, right? It was dead.
no, death almost do us part.
So I want to bug Karin a little bit. Karin, I'm just curious. So
Yes.
do you work with a list? Like you have a list of I mean, do you leave anything to the vibe, like a chemistry?
Oh yeah, yeah. I do not just release someone just based on something that is petty or something superficial. I really don't. And I always talk to someone and say, you know what? Something you're doing is hurting me. This is what you're doing and it's harming me. And we can always converse. But if you continue the behavior and it is something that makes me bitter inside, you've got to go. If you continue the behavior after we've discussed it. But not everybody deserves a discussion. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I always talk about it.
May I add something to what Karin is just saying? I think, in all seriousness, that when you say you release somebody, sometimes we release. I do believe this. Sometimes we release too quickly for whatever reasons. We maybe we're releasing because of something in the past that happened to us. And this person brings a little tinge of somebody else that you knew or whatever, and we say, no, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work, whatever it might be. So what also I think, and I forget the original thought I had, but also the fact of the matter is that all of us has something that somebody's not gonna like. Right. Everybody does.
Right.
And so what?
What? Who are you talking about?
I know that doesn't affect you. I know you.
It's the perfection. Yes.
Yes, I know that's understand. Not you. That's not you.
Gotcha.
But there's always something. But I will say this also. If you have involved yourself to a certain degree and you're getting some of what you want, a good deal of what you want, it's harder to release. It is harder to walk away when there's something that it bugs you, it bothers you. But you don't release because there's something else that you're getting that kind of counteracts it, that kind of balances out. And because we don't all, maybe you're different, Karin, we're not always that final in our decisions.
I am not quick with it, though. I'm not quick with it. I always put a great deal of thought into it. Right. Is it something I can deal with? If not, I don't pretend that I can.
No, but what I'm saying is that sometimes, remember, this is something I always try to share with people. Remember that part of our function is on a subconscious level. We're not always aware of what we're doing in totality, especially when it comes to emotions. And we're not always aware that I'm sick of this. Sometimes we live in a world where we said, yeah, that's annoying or whatever. But you know what? When we get to bed and then put him leg between my leg and it's warm and we rub up the thing.
Whoa, I can deal with it. Go on, Dr. Judith.
I can deal with it. So,
nice. Hallelujah.
That's so nice.
But the truth is that if that thing, so sometimes that little thing annoys you, but for lack of a better word, the bigger thing, I know I'm going to hear something from this one over here. The bigger part of the situation works. And so you stick with it. And I say that meaning that we're all imperfect. We all got something going on.
Very much
so. what I've learned to do, if there's something, and you said it, Karen, if there's a core value that I have, honesty is one.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty is a big one for you. And the other thing is that I am not gonna. You leave the house and I call and ask you where you are. You must know where you went. I'm not asking you anything. And so if I have to watch you to keep you supposedly faithful to me, it ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna call you, because when you call someone and ask them where they are, they can't tell you anything. And so I'm not gonna be that kind of person who chases you and what you doing. But if you lie to me, you're dead. And that is something that and why do I say that? Because if you cannot at least be honest with me, who you say you're, and let me say this. The part of the problem, women don't know when a man is really serious. Because men can play the part, like the guy said. Because I see you a lot doesn't mean we have a relationship. That's madness. That's scary to me. That you would spend days and weeks and hours with somebody that you have no real interest in. But men do it. So for me, that's dishonesty. So a woman is thinking she has a relationship because time is important to women. Time spent with them is valuable. So she said, well, if he's here, and then she also says, he must not have anybody else because he's with me so much. Lie. Sometimes, not all the times. So that kind of stuff, listen, life is wonderful. Do not waste my time talking foolishness to me.
I thought of something as you were speaking. We were talking about lines. I don't have many of them.
Take us home. Take us home with your statement, right, man?
All right.
Take us home.
If you're my friend, if you're my friend, you can ask me for anything. But if I'm in a relationship with you, don't ask me for money.
Don't ask what? Don't ask what?
Don't ask me for money, because I will release your behind so fast. Your eyes will spin in your head. Okay.
And I was about to ask you for some, but we're not in a relationship, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right, but I'm gonna come see you up there, you know.
I thought you said in the beginning of the show that if you need help, you could come to Chase Audit Services. I don't know.
He's talking specifically to women. Women.
You can pay me.
But I don't blame you. I don't blame you there. I don't like
Dr. Judith, the one thing I have to say in what you said just now, how DMX say it, Sam, give a dog a bone, you find his way home. Right? Give a dog a bone, he find his way home. You ain't gonna follow it to see where you going. You ain't gonna call it.
People do that. People do that.
Find his way home.
If you don't find his way home, I will release him.
Karin Forrester, talk about it. How the song go? Love should have brought you home last night.
What?
No. What Judith said just now, she reminded me of a song. Love, I think it's like that's one of the Baxtons. She said, "Love should have brought you home last night."
Yeah, from
Well, I agree with Dr. Judith. It didn't bring you home Tanway. There, let me send you the clothes and everything. We're closing now, or what are we doing?
Yeah, we closing. We. Or you want to keep talking?
No.
When I carry the show on, all the time I carry the show too long. I closing it off. You have more to say. Go ahead. Talk it up.
Mark didn't like what you said. He's gone like the wind. Now, in my closing, I just want to say something because I didn't want anything that I said tonight to be perceived as bashing the other sex.
Stop apologizing.
No, man. No, man, I apologize.
Don't take back the chat. Stop apologizing.
I definitely don't suffer from imposter syndrome. And I would really appreciate it if you don't approach me and pretend. It wastes both our time. I've only met one person who I can honestly say, I've said it already. If I could go back to the day before we met, I'd escape all that regret. Truth be told, everyone else can be greeted with a smile and or a hug. And for that, I'm truly grateful. Enough said.
Amen.
Sammy?
Yes, I.
There you go. Sammy plant piece of corn down a gully.
Uh-huh.
No, wait, no, hold on. Let me Judith. How many years you singing that song? You ever realize it's Sammy plant peas and corn?
No.
And not peas and
No.
corn?
That's a piece of corn. Never.
Go back and listen to this song.
Never. I said piece of corn.
Boy.
So you're saying that all your life, right?
All my life.
Go back and look at it, man. Sammy plant peas and corn.
No, it sounds better the other way, man. Mess it up. I mess up a historical thought in my head.
Just I like it my way. It's better.
So in my way, that's where I learned it.
Go ahead, Sam.
So, I like to be a little imaginative.
And politically correct. Go ahead.
Yeah, politically correct.
Yeah, work together. Oxymoron.
We have PSS.
Right.
Yeah,
PSS.
I like to imagine that we're from a different place
We are.
and that we come to this planet to learn certain things. But this is just my imaginative, you have to imagine things to work on certain theories. And then if you prove your theory, then, you're good to go. And I think it's this was a really interesting discussion tonight because you get to see how we as beings bounce around, it's like 1,000 of us is in a room and we all have going different directions, like the blood cells in the body, and everybody going to do their job, and it's like everything going all the way around, and somewhere in there you bounce up somebody, and it's either you're going to link with them or you're going to release it, and you're going to keep moving, and all these little cells, and then you zoom out because you're looking at this stuff through a microscope, and you just see how relationships begin and how they end, and all these different situations, and who have, people have morals and standards, and who have none, and who have some, and who could compromise because 80% of the situation is good, the other 20% I could deal with it is tolerable, and vice versa. Some might say, well, I like 20%, but I don't like the other 80. So I think I need to throw this back out because it really would. So it's interesting to see the whole pie. Very, very interesting to see the whole pie. And I think it's good that we could mess with the brain a little bit and think. Just put aside the what our minds was conditioned to, and just think, just like think, imagine, and come up with new formulas, and understand the differences and what, it's really good stuff. I see that.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Yeah.
Imagine there's no heaven. A brotherhood of man.
Are you going John Lennon on us tonight?
Yes, I imagine. I'm trying to imagine. Cause you go all over the world and come back a while ago.
Oh God.
Yeah. And first of all, I go around the world because first of all, there's a lot of space. A lot of space.
I can't take it.
I'm gonna ask
A
you
lot of
for
space.
PSS. Ask you for PSS.
Right. So
You're killing me.
on the imaginative point, you have to learn lessons as we go. And that is my point for this evening.
Every time I put that hood on my head.
The man say learn as you go, Sammy.
That's right.
Learn as you go. Denise said, try out the pink. Oh no, she said no pink.
I got my here, pink hoodie.
She said no pink, Sammy. So I guess you're not willing to learn as you go.
Did they only see me wear pink?
You did.
All you know is an alien inside here.
Something wrong.
Oh God, help us, Jesus.
To me,
Something wrong.
one of the things I think that we need to do, we need to stop wasting time on situations where we have no control.
Agreed.
People change for themselves, not for you.
Man.
So many times we hang on thinking that somehow, any day now, they're going to change. I could change them. People change for themselves, not for you.
Yes, sir.
So if you catch that and it ain't releasing and you're seeing all the red flags, release it.
Man.
Some of us, or let me say rather, some of you women need to realize that men are not trash. Maybe some of your taste in men might be trash, but men are not trash. Don't say all men are dogs because you met one or two dogs in your time.
I don't say that.
Don't paint with such a wide brush. Don't put us all in that same class and say, nah, all men are dogs.
I agree with you. I agree with you, sir. Only about Mark.
In reference to letting go is easy, you know. Letting go is easy. Holding on could cause you so much pain.
True.
Especially if what you're holding on to is not for you.
Oh God, it's terrible.
You're holding on to something, trying to make it work, and that is not the right situation you're in. That could be painful.
Horrible.
Most of us hold on because we constantly trying to control a situation, you know. This person get away and I just want to get them back so I could show them. I could control this. No. Or you want to show them you could get them back. No.
Pride.
You want to go? Good riddance. Let them go.
Agree.
I always say, if any woman has to choose between me and somebody else, go ahead and choose them.
Yes, I agree.
I am not an option.
Everybody's
not an option. Go ahead and choose them. I release you.
You are the choice.
I release you to go ahead and free yourself.
I agree with you.
I started off talking about fish. If you want to hold on to a fish,
oh man,
or a woman, you have to do it gently.
Slippery.
You see, too much pressure could make it slip out of your hand. Right? And in the process of it slipping out your hand like a fish, it could the fins could cut you, and you could get hurt. It could cause you pain when you're trying to hang on to something that's trying to get away.
Richard, brother.
Right? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go may seem like a weakness. Understand that? It may seem like a weakness, but my friends, let me tell you something. It is one of the greatest strengths that anyone could possess.
It is.
Learn the art of catching and releasing. God bless you all. Good evening.
Peace.
Bless.
Peace out.
Work with me here. Work with me here.
this man.